Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Smack addict. Bye-ya. Bye-ya. As you can tell by who I have with me, I can't cuss. The vatos are Cristiano, and I respect that. I'll probably cuss anyways. Anyways, in a Menudo style direct fashion, I brought you none other than Big Joe himself, the official Big Joe. You can follow him on Instagram, official Big Joe. And for those of you that don't know who my brother Big Joe is, man, we're going to introduce you right now because he is making moves, a lot of moves in Hollywood for the Chicano people, for the cultura, and he's got a lot going on. So without further ado, there's Mr. Himself, Big Joe.
Órale, gracias, Gunner. Gracias. Este es Salca la Vocita, loco. Well, I had to
That's
put
right.
that on for you, Holmes, because I always hear you with your ha.
Exactly, my brother.
I would start dancing. Oh, I was ready. Yes, sir. Get it
Yeah,
on.
you know how we do it, bro. I appreciate you coming on right here on Gunners Collective. There's a first time for everything, but never a last, bro. Now, Trip Out, I wanted to get to some questions. Your new show. You're in a new show, man. I happened to be flipping through Hulu. I was trying to watch Sons of Anarchy, and I came across a new show, a hit show called This Fool, and I seen that it was based on Raza, so I am automatically, boom. And then look and behold, who do I see? I see yourself as well, Sonny Acosta, man. How was it being casted in that show? Where do you think the show can go from here? And what's it looking like? Maybe season 2, season 3? What are we looking like?
Man, well, you know what? And I was blessed to be a part of it, but my part was so small that I didn't really put it out there. And I didn't think anybody would if I didn't wind up on the cutting room floor, I go, probably nobody would recognize me anyways. Man, I've been getting all kinds of DMs and text messages from family that's saying, hey, I was watching it, then I saw you. I'm like, it was a trip because I had the lokes on and everything. So I thought nobody would recognize me, but they did. So that was a trip. But I went out there to go film. I mean, being on set with those vatos is feed me. You know what I mean? I was out there with man, just everybody, Frankie Quinones and all that cast that were out there. Fabian was out there, Carlos. Those are the vatos from Cholo's Try and other movies that they've done. Fabian's on the Mayans right now, but I've known them before. Not Frankie, which is Cholo Fit. I didn't know him, but I got to meet him on set, and then ever since then we wind up being at the same events. So now we know each other, like, you know what I mean? Like we communicate with each other now and all that. So it's been feeding me. But man, that show is hella funny. And I know you guys are watching. A lot of you guys are, those of you that haven't, man, that thing really, it's a lot of like fact based about our cultura. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
About like the gangster part of it. And then having the primos that are like nerdy or they're not involved with the lifestyle, but they live around the lifestyle, So yeah, I don't know about the season 2, but I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure. And I really do. I pray to God that they give them a season 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? Let them carry on. And if they do, man, I'm going to go in there and audition because I want to be a bigger part of it. So I'm going to give it the good old college try. Even though I know these guys, I won't ask them like, hey, get me in. I've never done that. I know Emilio. And I've never asked him, hey, get me into the Mayans. You know what I mean? I figure if I'm going to do it, I'll do it on my own. You know what I mean? Because I think when it's cool to ask for favors, but at the same time, when you do it on your own, there's a sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean? That's
absolutely.
why I do it on my own. And when I'm ready and I know, God wants me in that spot, he's going to put me in there no matter what. And
absolutely.
So, but it's just a feed me show. It's funny. Hella funny,
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I'm tapped in. I'm definitely tapped in. And for those of you that don't know, this is also an actor. He was a big part of the movie Kilroy. If you guys haven't tapped into the movie Kilroy, it's all over the place. Based on Kilroy, one of the founding members of an organization down south. So, I mean, it's just Joe's been around for a while, been around Hollywood, moving and shaking for, like I said, the Chicano people. I wanted to ask you, do you have any upcoming projects, anything that you're working on special you can't really speak on? And what's up with getting me in a film?
Well, I got you. I told you, man, I'm gonna hook it up, dog. You know what I mean? As far as movies coming out, yeah, we got that movie Monstro coming out, which is kind of like a part 2 to Cholo Zombies. But Cholo Zombies, we took it off, and we have the people at Marvel Films doing all the special effects, lighting, sound. We're having it re-edited all over again.
Yeah.
And that way we could do a re-release of it, because yeah, it deserves to have that 100% attention to it. Like people that, I mean, the guy that did it, he did a great job, but people at the Marvel Films, that's their thing, special effects and lighting.
Yes.
So we're gonna have that redone, because we had over 20 celebrities in that thing, man.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, we had Busy Bone, we had Paul Rodriguez, we had we had Carlos Carrasco. We had a lot of people in that movie that it deserves more shine than what it had. So, like I said, it's being re-edited, but at the same time, the Monstro movie is going to be coming out hopefully next month, and that's like a part 2 kind of to it. So, but that thing is already being edited by the people at Marvel. So that thing is going to come out 100% legit already from the game.
It's crispy. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then we just finished a movie. Well, we have it out there at the film festivals. It's called Tomorrow's Game. And Tomorrow's Game, yeah, man, we have Paul Rodriguez in there, Carlo Mendez, which is the brother of Eva Mendes. And man, we have a lot of great actors and actresses in that thing. It's a phenomenal movie. It's about the first Dominican baseball player to ever get into the MLB. And it's like a Sandlot meets Back to the Future, like a sci-fi thing like that. Where the kid goes back in time. He doesn't appreciate his family. He's a spoiled brat, raised with a lot of money, and he doesn't appreciate nothing. But then he goes back to the future to see how the uncle struggled and everything, all the prejudice, racism he went through just to play baseball, and he has a different appreciation when he gets shot back into the future.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's been winning awards throughout the U.S. And they're going to be taking it outside the U.S. for film festivals outside in Europe. And when that one comes out, man, that's one of I'm proud of that one. I'm really proud of that one right there, man. And I was able to be a assistant producer on that one. So it's just feeding me to be a part of it. And then we have hopefully 2 more projects that we're going to start filming at the end of this year. The Cedar Film Studios, they got 3 right now that they're finishing up. They want to release before they start filming more.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got a lot of work on your plate. You're doing a lot. So I wanted to get to this past event that just happened the other day, over last weekend, which was a music festival, several artists, several rappers. I seen Frankie J was there. I seen who was it? DJ Magic. I seen several people. MC Magic. I seen several people there. How was it hosting that? Was it a good coming together of gente? I know there was a lot of raza there. I seen all the pictures. It looked like it was a good time.
You know what? It was feedback. We're out there in LA at the Plaza de la Raza. We threw the event, and we had MC Magic, we had Baby Bash, we had Capone, we had it's such a Bella the rapper. The list is so long that I know I'm gonna miss a lot of names, but man, everybody that performed that day, man, was phenomenal. They did a great job. And the best thing of it all is I'm proud because Angel Baby was the host. He was up there, announcing, and he took me on stage, and I got to say a few words to the crowd. And basically, I told him that I was just proud of how everybody's together. And you had all kinds of different vatos and different girls, hyenas out there that were all tatted down. You could tell all different vatos from LA, but everybody was arm in arm, like, dancing, grooving, pisteando. Man, we had 0 fights, man, 0 fights for the whole festival. And it was feedback to be able to look, because back, I'm from the 80s and 90s, and back then, man, you couldn't even go to the swap meet, the outdoor swap meet, without throwing blows at somebody, let alone go to a concert always ended up in gunfire or somebody getting shanked. So like being around this and everything happening, the real feedback like that, because I went to the Urban Con a couple months ago. That was in LA. Like I said, it was all raza, everybody there from LA and tatted down, and not just LA. There's people from San Diego and all that, but no pedo over there either. And that's feedback when I see the raza come together like that. So when I was on stage, I just told everybody, I appreciate everybody keeping it cool, keeping it feedback, having a good time. And I told everybody, I love all you guys. I love all my raza. I love everybody that's here, no matter what color you are. And it was just feedback. It was feedback, And
definitely. You know what I think? I think yourself, Big Paul, Sonny, myself, Big Rojo, and especially Cholo Trucker. I think we had a big impact, and I think we led the way with the unity fight from last year. I think that right there played a nice piece of the puzzle, man, because that started a movement. It started a movement, maybe not in life in general, but as far as YouTube goes and the surrounding entertainment business, I see a lot more people from different barrios, a lot more raza tapping in with each other, communicating, networking, coming together, less gunplay, less things happening at events. And I think we were a piece of that puzzle that showed that anything is possible. And a big thanks to you, because it was you and Big Paul that put in the work to make it happen. And we did a great job. I think we all came together and did a great job. And I just want to appreciate you, bro. Again, thank you for that. So I wanted to talk about something.
I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you because I want to say thank you, Holmes, because you're the one that came down south. You're the one that got in the ring, and you're the one that put everything on the line. You know what I mean? So without you and Trucker, like, there wouldn't have been a fight without you guys accepting the fight. And yeah, we all did it together. And that was the feedback part. None of us ever claimed to be, oh, that was my event, or I'm the one that put it together. No. Or we all said we all did everything together. We all voted on stuff. We all did everything as a collective. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was feedback. That was feedback that worked that way. Everybody was gentlemen. And whenever we had a disagreement, we were able just to vote on it, and everybody accepted what the vote was. And exactly. And that's the way real men work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was, so I got to say that. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Shout out to Sonny and the Expedition. You remember that one? Expedition. Hey, so there's an elephant in my room. Maybe not in your room, but in the room. A lot of people want to know, and they've been asking me. This past month, there was a song put out called Ay Caramba by Tiger. And a lot of the gente, myself, several other individuals on YouTube, as well as the collective, the whole world, the raza, took it as slights and disrespect to the people. Now, some people seen it one way, some seen it another. And like I want to say this, respects to Tiger, man. I don't dislike the guy, but I felt he was kind of out of place in some of the things he said. A lot of the raza felt that for no other reason, they should rise up and come together, to address the situation. We're tired of being held down. We're tired of holding ourselves back. So we came together as a gente, and we basically got the video taken down. I know American Cholo Gil, respects to him. He was on the forefront of it. He was able to get to Power 106 and have a meeting with Tyga and get that established. Where Tyga apologized ultimately to the raza, admitted his wrongdoings in that situation, and everything was water under the bridge. He took it down. We were happy with it. Shout out to Miss Fisoto. For dropping Ay Caramba 2, that pretty much addressed the situation and let Tyga know how the raza was feeling in a different way. Now, a few days passed, and it seemed like the channel No Jumper, who has a big platform on YouTube, decided that if for no other reason, they should put their hat in the race and decide to slander Gil from American Cholo, and whoever dropped the video clippings they had that were taken out of context, they were there. You yourself actually pulled up to No Jumper with Gil. Gil and Bozo were invited. Gil decided that if for no other reason he should show force, come with a whole bunch of gente that are all of like-mindedness and that are here to promote unity for the raza and to stand our ground. You were one of them. How was it? What was the atmosphere? What was it like, brother?
See, that the whole thing about that, it wasn't what everybody thought it was. It wasn't to go in there and show like, it's a beautiful thing to think like we went in there like to kick the door down and get our justice. No, it wasn't even like that. We went over there just to back up Gil and to show like, look, this vato right here, Gil from American Cholo, he's not just talking out of the side of his neck. It's just not a one-man show, it's expressing his feelings. No, we all believe that. We all believe in what he's saying, and we're showing you as a group here that he's not alone on this. And that we do back him. It's just not one crazy vato out there, screaming and yelling. No, it's not like that. So that's why we went out there. That's why we went with him to show that he's valid. He's validated in everything he's saying, but when we got there, to be honest with you, I thought it was me, Gil, and Boo Boo, and maybe another guy or two. I didn't know like all that group was going. And then I found out that, they said Bozo's coming. Okay, feed me. So then a bunch of autos, I guess that everybody was invited to come out. So they came out, which was feedback because nobody came out there, with their chest out, like, let's get it on. Nothing like that. Everybody came out with respect. when AD and Duno came out, it was respect, dog, right off the bat like that. Hey, what's up, guys? Everybody was embraced and hands were shook, and they had their security there, you know, that was armed, and they had the other co-workers that were there. But like I said, it was nobody was trying to like go out there like banging or nothing like that whatsoever. So for people to say like we went out there like that, it's everybody's gonna talk. Everybody talks out of the side of their neck, and if they didn't show up or they didn't go, you know, that's on them. But I was there, and you know I'm not gonna lie about it. I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And Sabes que, we went over there just to show that we're with Gil. We walk with Gil. We're rolling with them, and what he's going to tell you right now, it's valid. It comes from the street. It comes from the community. It comes from everything. You know what I mean? And that way they can understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I went out there. Plus, you never know who was at the studio. You know what I mean? And we can't let our spokesman walk in there alone. I mean, presidents don't go anywhere alone. Is it? He's got.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, everyone moves with security. So this is no different. You know, like one thing that I did, and me and you talked about it earlier today. Was that, and we discussed it, how, you know, I myself, and I've always said it, me and Gil don't see absolutely eye to eye, but I stand behind him in this movement. I stand behind him in this cause based on, and we agreed, we'd be hypocrites if we didn't. We'd be hypocrites if we didn't, because like I said, we're all about the unity, all about the raza coming together, all about standing our grounds and making a change for the better for our people. That if we didn't get behind what he was saying, which was righteous, then we'd be hypocrites. It'd be like, you know, everything we say is just to say it rather than show, you know, what we're about. So I commend you for doing that, for pulling up with Gil and doing all that. And like I told a lot of people, I don't think, and a lot of them, you know, was going up and down the questions back and forth. Well, why did they have to go 50 deep? Why did they have to go 100 deep or whatever? And I said, it wasn't to kick doors down, like you said, and to punk anybody. It was basically to show that we're united as a gente, and we're tired of being oppressed, and we're tired of standing down. It's time to stand up, you know. And I know you're a firm believer in the raza and the coming together of people. So I believe that's why you were there. What else I wanted to ask you? I wanted to ask you a couple more things. Questions.
Let me add something to that real quick.
Yeah.
If we went out there like to prove something or to show force, whatever, trust me, we all could have got on the phones and we could have had 500 people walk up that day.
Easily. Yeah.
Because I didn't call nobody. And trust me, I could make phone calls and I would have had people there también, you know, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, that we're tough, because that's not my personality. That's not who I am. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, if we wanted to, we could have did that, but that's not what it was for. That's not what it was about.
Yeah. What was being said behind the scenes on the reason why Adam wasn't there? Take us behind the scenes. Okay, Adam doesn't show up. He says he has a prior engagement, a poker tournament. This is Adam's platform. Just like I'm here right now, you're always there on your, you know, in your job, your platform. I know Adam gave his excuse. He had a prior engagement, but this was something big. This is something he put out there. What was the talk behind the scenes on why Adam didn't pull up?
Well, the main thing is that when we got there, we thought he was going to be there. That was the thing, that we all thought Adam was going to be there for the conversation, you know, because it is his platform. Yeah. But I guess they thought Flacco might have been there too, and but he wasn't there either. So you know what I mean? Like, hey, sometimes the Gophers go underground, you know what I mean, for safety. Yes. So and it wouldn't have been like that anyways, but they would have had not a better conversation, but we would have got to the root of everything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The only reason that they went on FaceTime with Adam was because Bozo asked AD, hey, you know what? Can you FaceTime him so we can, you know, get this resolved, you know? Yeah. Goes, AD right away goes, yeah, no problem. And boom, they put him on. And man, out of that whole thing, dog, the most, man, I started getting dry mouth. You know, like when you get so pissed off, you get dry mouth?
Yeah.
I started getting dry mouth when they got Adam on the phone, because he wasn't listening. He wasn't listening. He didn't care, dog. He didn't care about what was happening. He didn't care about what the end result would have happened with Gil or with anybody, you know, with Duno. You know, he didn't, man, you know, I don't like to cuss, but he didn't give two shits about the people. He just cared about his platform and how he could say, like, oh, but it was newsworthy. Man, newsworthy, that was not newsworthy. It was a chopped up video that put Gil in a different light than what he really is, and it was obvious. But he put it on there so he can get the followers and the YouTube likes and get the stir pot, get the pot stir, you know what I mean? So that's why he did it. And he don't care about our community. He don't care about the black community. He don't care about nobody's community except for New Hampshire or wherever he lives now, probably in some mansion out there in LA or Beverly Hills, whatever, you know. That's the only thing he cares about, because at the end of the day, when, and God forbid that there's fights between our communities of black and brown, him and his family will not be touched by it. You know what I mean? Anybody knows, any family members, all that will not be touched by it. It's his people that work for him, that their families could be involved in it. Gil's families, our families, you know what I mean? The people on the streets are the ones that pay the price. You know, the soldiers out there, and nobody wants, you know, the soldiers or the raza or you know, the blacks, the Mexicans, the white. Nobody wants any of them to get locked up or get killed or be victims of because of one man's desire to make more money, make more bread on YouTube. It ain't right. And it's kind of like, man, you remember how, man, I'm gonna get deep on this, how they would say like the white man made money off the sweat off the brown and the black man, right? And I feel like that's what he's doing on the No Jumper platform, making off the black and brown. And he's just a vulture. Well, you got a
culture vulture.
Yeah, he's a culture vulture and the black community, and now he's dipping his fucking white toe into the brown community homes.
Exactly.
Spent up for my language, but it upsets me because we take 2 steps forward, homes, and then this bottle comes and drags us back. You know what I mean? And so there we go. We got to swing, and try to get our steps back. You know, the whole thing with Power 106 that happened with Gil, that was feeding me, dog. You know, the whole song, I don't feel offended by the song. It was the video that offended me.
Me too.
Know? And I feel like Tiger was really legitimately sorry for what he had done, for not realizing. But at the same time, he needs to realize that enough's enough. You know, the whole thing with that first video they did,
YG,
with YG, and then when Blueface came out with his Carne Asada song, that was the second strike, and then he came out, that was three strikes, you're out, almost, because and I had somebody tell me, like, and this was Raza, they go, that song wasn't bad, that video wasn't bad, and I said, it wasn't bad, like bad. They go, no, that Carne Asada one was worse. I said, yeah, but what happened with Carne Asada? Nobody did nothing. Nobody really said too much about it. Yeah, Hypnotic did a song on it, and Hypnotic and Duende did a song on it, and Capone talked about it and stuff like that. So there was talk about it, but it was never taken down. You know, but now that Gil went out there on the forefront and basically put the big brown foot down and said, you know what, like this is the line right here. This is where we draw the line. Enough's enough. Now, whether this song would have been a lot worse or a lot mellow, but it was the line. It was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Enough is enough. Yeah, enough is enough.
That's it. And if we don't do it now, when we're going to do it? The next disgusting video that comes out, you know, and that's the thing. Like, the Palatero men are still getting robbed, still getting killed, still getting beat. But even by, like, the other day, it was by our own raza. You know what I mean? And what do I say? I say they need to be checked. They need to be checked. I ain't gonna say, well, this is raza, so it's cool. No, that ain't cool at all. You know,
check them.
Their older homies need to go over there and check them, because it's wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
No matter what color.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think you're just like you righteously said, when Gil went to Power 106, and then it was water under the bridge. It something got accomplished. Tiger apologized. We felt good as a people. We felt like, okay, our voices were heard. And then when Adam dropped what he dropped, he basically tried to drag it back and make it a black and brown thing when it was not that. And when Gil approached him, he didn't approach him as a black and brown situation. He approached him on a man-to-man situation, to which Adam didn't show up, nor Flacco, who dropped the post. So I felt that, and that's why I agreed with Gil. That's why I backed his play on it. There were several other individuals that, you know, you hear the DMs, you hear people saying, well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad because it wasn't about you. But when it's about you and you've been going through this oppression and all this ridicule for so many years, eventually enough is enough. And I'm glad that we did it in our generation now, rather than have our kids have to go through it. You know, we're trying to establish something now so that way the future is just a little bit more better. and black and brown could come together. There's been a lot of tension, especially more down south, as well as even up north. And I think it's a good thing that we're establishing some type of communication, because a lot more doors could be open. I mean, that's why I'm so proud of what you do, because you opened your own doors to Hollywood. You're acting, you're in movies, and I always seen Chicanos get the stereotypes. We always get the Cholo or the gangster or the, you know what I mean? But I'm starting to see people break through now where we're getting lead roles. We're getting different parts in movies, dramas, not necessarily the Cholo, you know what I mean, in the background.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great thing.
It's funny because I was just talking to an actor earlier today, Chicano, and I told him, he's like, man, he goes, I want to get, you have any parts for me, Joe? Blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, I'll hook you up as soon as we can, as soon as we get back into production. And I go, but I'll let you know this, man. I go, you don't always have to play the Cholo. You don't always have to play the gangster. I go, that's cool to get in, to get your feet wet and to get noticed and make network with people. I go, but you can play the doctor. You could play the lawyer. You can play so many parts. You know what I mean? So I gave him some links to places he can go to casting calls and stuff like that. But we have to think outside the box, because if we stay playing the gangster, we stay playing the vato, the cartel or whatever, we're always going to be background, or we're always going to be an independent film. You know what I mean? But to get to the main platform of Hollywood, we got to push forward and show them our acting abilities and say, look, I could do this scene as good as Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? I might not look like them, but I could deliver. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of actors in Hollywood that are Latino, Hispanic, Raza, Cali Mac, whatever you guys want to call them. You know what I mean? I just won't say Latinx, but everything else, you know what I mean? Like they're phenomenal actors and actresses out there that are killing the game, but they just need the opportunity. But you know what? The squeaky wheel gets the oil. So it's time for us to be squeaky. So, so we can get our people into there.
Yeah, you got to closed mouths don't get fed. You got to go out there and pound the pavement and let your voice be heard. Okay, so I got one more question, Joe, before I let you go. Who were some of your inspirations, brother, growing up that made you say, I want to get into this life?
The gang life or the what life?
No, the acting life. The gang life, you don't need no inspiration. The streets are there calling you. I already know that.
Yeah,
that's a product of your environment. You know what I mean?
That was generational right there for me.
Yeah, that's generational.
Yeah. Well, for me, the main influence was God. I'll tell you, the story was that one day I was sitting here at the pad and I was like, I need to do something different in my life. And I've always wanted to get into the movie industry, but I had a wife. I've been married 31 years. I have a wife and my 4 kids. My kids are all adults now. And I said, man, I want to get into the movie industry. And as God, like, if you can make a way, I'll do it, and I'll do it for you. And he made a way, man. He made a way. He hooked me up. And with Big Paul was a friend of mine from back in the teenage years. And I didn't know he was in the movie industry. So I contacted him and everything just started moving and moving. But my thing is God blessed me, because one day I was on set and I went with Vince Romo to the set. And they were filming Suicide by Cop. And I met this guy. He was putting away the food after everybody was eating. This older man putting away all this food. And I go, hey, let me help you. And he goes, no, I got it. I go, no, I'll help you out, man. I'm not doing nothing. So I helped to put away the food. We cleaned, just being a good person, So we sat there and we started talking. And then he goes, what's your name? I go, oh, my name's Joe. I'm here with Vince. And he goes, oh, my name's Pete. Pete Bollinger. I own Cedar Films. And this is my set. He goes, I appreciate you helping me, and you're welcome to my set anytime I film. I go, okay, cool, man. I appreciate it. And the next weekend, I went to the homeboy's house, Paul, and they were filming at his house. That day was at a studios, and then the next time was at a house, and it was all the same people from the weekend before. And I was like, wait. And everybody's like, hey, Joe. And then, because I was talking to everybody, and Paul's like, you know them? I go, I was on set last week with them. It was just like a coincidence, like a trip. So then they go, hey, you want to be in the movie? We lost somebody, want somebody in this scene. I go, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Got started, got going. And then they were like, hey, we need a car, we need this and that, because we're finishing up Kilroy the movie. I go, yeah, I can get you a car and get you an actor, I can get you. And I just started working on that, like producing for them. And then, man, I've been producing more movies than I've actually acted in. been executive producer, co-producer. Man, I've been blessed from the past. It's only been 3 years, and I've done a lot. And I've had people ask me, "Hey, Joe, like, who do you know in the industry that you've been going so fast at it? You know what I mean? Like moving up the ranks fast." I go, God's the one that helped me with all this. Like, I don't know nobody in the movie industry, but God, so that's how I got involved. That's how I did it. And then I went to acting classes with the best coach there is in the world, basically, Anthony Gilardi Acting Studios in Hollywood, and all the big studios go to him, and then when they need people, they go to him. And one day I was in class sitting there next to Clayton Cardenas from the Mayans. Yeah. And I was like, this guy, and he still goes there to polish up his craft. You know what I mean? Iron sharpens iron. And I'm like, this vato's on the Mayans, making feria, doing his thing, but he's here in class, still doing his thing.
Education never stops, brother. You know what I mean? Education never stops. One more question and we're out, Joe. When is it official? When is the Big Joe Show coming to YouTube? I know you're building your studio. Where are we at with it?
The studio is being built. I just had an inspection today. I passed inspection for the gas lines because I have a restroom in there. Yeah. And so I bought a tankless water heater. And so the thing about it is everything, when I started building this building, 2x4s and stuff were $250 a 2x4. Expensive. Well, when I was buying everything, it went up to $8. It was like, and so my budget was way blown out. But
the inflation.
The building is built, the stucco's done, the roof's done, the shingles are done, all the electrical's done, all the water in here's ran and all that. Man, I did all the underground electrical, plumbing, all that stuff. So I'm getting real close. So I don't really want to put a date on it, but I'm going to say January 2023.
Perfect.
I want to come. I want to do it 100%.
No, absolutely. I mean, the way that I visualize it, and the way you told me, I see it more of like a Johnny Carson show type thing, where you're gonna bring some big actors, you're gonna bring some big personalities, some big Latino names, some big Chicanos to the set. I'm gonna show up. That's a fact. I want to be there to see it firsthand. So, man, I can't wait, and it's gonna be a big thing on YouTube. You guys stay tuned for it. It's going to be coming 2023, sometime around January, maybe after January, the official Big Joe Show. And I know he's going to have several people on there, several people in the industry. You actually worked, you told me before, with Sharon Stone. So, people.
Tara Reid. We worked with Tara Reid also, like a lot of people. But you know what? My interviews are going to consist of artists and actors and stuff like that, but I'm also going to bring everyday heroes. The vato that went over there and he did time, and I'm not going to have to come over here, no prison politics stuff. Like, no, I'm going to talk about the vato that goes out there and he busts his butt to provide for his family for the last 20, 30 years, but he doesn't get recognition. Those are the people I want to recognize because they're the ones with calluses on their hands, and they're the vatos that have bad backs, they go to bed in pain or whatever. Those are the everyday heroes that I want to recognize also.
Absolutely, man. Yep. And those are the ones that need to be recognized. They never get a platform. With that being said, brother, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, man, to the fullest. You already know. I'm gonna stay tapped in. That's Big Joe Castro, man. Follow him at Official Big Joe on Instagram, and be looking out again. This fool on Hulu. Him as well as the homeboy Sonny Acosta do make cameos in it. Watch it. It's a good show. I watched the whole first season. I'm waiting now for the next episode. And make sure you guys stay tuned in. Again, he has Monstro coming out in the next month. And then they're remastering the Cholo Zombies. So, pay attention to that. And then we'll see him in a lot of other projects.
There's one more I want to recommend. I have nothing to do with it. Go on YouTube and look up Sweetbread.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one right there, I recommend to everybody. It's produced by a homeboy named Albert. Really feed me vato. He's doing another project right now, but check it out, Sweetbread, man. That movie. That's all I gotta say, man. That's the one.
Absolutely. Gracias, brother. With that being said, gente, I hope that you move with a purpose. I hope that you guys get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, only you can go out there and hustle for your familia and bring it back. And then maybe one day you could be on the Big Joe Show because you'll have calluses on your hands. And we'll be talking about you. Go out there and get it for the gente. With that being said, For Big Joe and myself, I'm out. Bang, bang. This is the gun. Gracias, Joe.
Thank you, Doc.